You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Google signing on, John to the Hancock, and I'm always key, I'm ready to unlock. I be doing big things.
Welcome back, everyone, to the newest edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy J. Ludis, and today, guys, we have an incredible guest with us. Someone who has reached new heights as a linebacker in the NFL and the XFL, having been drafted by the Minnesota Vikings in the 7th round of the 2015 draft, and going on to play for the New York Jets, the Arizona Cardinals, the Atlanta Falcons, the Seattle Seahawks, for that matter, among more, to then shifting to the XFL and becoming a champion with the Arlington Renegades this past year. But above all that, why I wanted to get him on the show today is he is now traveling and speaking to the youth and audiences on the concept of, as you can see his shirt, One Man Ready, to help everyone overcome any obstacle between them and the dreams that they look to achieve. Because as our guest will tell you, it only takes one person to believe in you, and that person is in fact you. Guys, I give you Edmond Robinson Jr. Edmond, I thank you for being here, brother. It's a blast.
I tell you what, man, that's an amazing intro for someone.
Gotta capture you, man.
Got the hair rising on the back of my neck, man. But I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Phenomenal, man. No, that's the thing. I want people to understand, like, you're the whole show, man. And now that you're traveling and speaking to different audiences, you're helping youth, you're helping athletes, you're helping everyone for that matter. Why not talk about it? So, for people to get a full background on you, tell us your story. As much as I just kind of give over tidbits, like, where'd you start with football, man? That was kind of the backdrop. Now you've kind of stepped out of that realm and you're doing more and more to help people. But where did it all start for you?
Yeah, so my dad, is a big football fan, and I'm the youngest out of 5 boys, And he never really played, but I think he wanted to live through one of us, to play football. And just happened for it to be me, youngest out of 5. And we came from a small island called Wadmalaw Island. It's a small island inside the city of Charleston, South Carolina. But I started playing football at the age of 6, and I haven't missed a year since, So I've been playing for a long time. To all the local public schools in the area where I was from, and then that awarded me and gave me the opportunity to play in college. And I ended up at a small Division II school, which is actually...
All right, we're back. Sorry, guys, a little bit of a connection error right there, but Edmond, we're back right now. You were telling us before it cut out kind of where football started for you with your dad, and inspired you to kind of really pursue that for yourself. But continue the process. So before the connection cut out, you were telling us your story.
Yeah, so he's the one that introduced me to football, kind of gave it to me at an early age, and I just took a liking to it, and just ran with it. And I guess a little inside scoop for you guys that's on there. I remember at the age of like 8 or 9, and I asked my mom, and it was, I was looking far down the line, but I just asked her. I kneeled by the side of her bed, and I asked her, I said, "Do you think I can make it to the NFL?" Right? And she was like, her exact words were, "What do you think?" And I was like, I took a second, and I told her, I said, "I think I can make it," and I said, "I'm going to make it," and it was just as clear as day. She was like, "Well, there it is, that you're going to make it," So she may have been the first person to, believe, but she kind of gave me the opportunity, to believe in myself, and I believed in myself from an early age. I knew that was my dream. I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I knew that I was going to do any and everything to give myself like the best opportunity to make it there and do the right thing at all times. And it just happened to work out for me. And like I was saying, that I went to all the local schools there on Wadmalaw and Johns Island, and did pretty well for myself at a small school, and got me an opportunity to go to college. I didn't really care where I was going to play. I just knew I wanted to play because that's the next step I would have taken just to get to where my dreams, lied out for me. And so I ended up going to Newberry College, which is the smallest Division II school in the United States.
Okay.
And I did well there. Ended up getting drafted from there, being the first person to get drafted from that school. And it panned out that, it took me to the NFL, and I saw a lot of things, experienced a lot of things, and played on a lot of different teams, so I was one of those guys that was a journeyman, I was a
Yeah.
journeyman, but it afforded me to do a lot of things in my life that I wanted to do. I was blessed, and that led me to the XFL this past year, in which I was honestly just playing because I had a little bit of football left in me.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I get it out. The NFL kind of stopped calling, after like year 7, the NFL kind of just stopped calling for me. So took my talents to the XFL just to get the little bit of football I had out of me. And it was a hard one. It was a hard year, but I was triumphant,
Yeah.
in with my teammates, and we were able to win a championship. And that was my first time that I can ever call myself a champion. Never hoisted anything. Never was really on a winning team in my life, But for me personally, to say I could go out, through all the trials and stuff that went on, I went out as a champion. That's amazing. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I love that. And even going over your story, you mentioned a lot of tidbits that really kind of propelled you forward. And, we're going to get more into those concepts, but the one that sticks out to me is the belief at such a young age.
Mm-hmm.
And why I bring that up is because as much as you speak to all audiences, when you speak to youth, that concept in itself is so powerful. I focus on that with my audiences and my clients just as much. But for you to say, I think your mom did a phenomenal job, because this day and age, any parents listening right now, you are the belief for your kids before they can believe in themselves.
Right.
And so for your mom to believe in you, but for that one question, well, do you think you can? I'm going to. That to believe it's already done fills you with so much power, so much faith for that matter, to see through to the finish. And so I just wanted to reiterate the viewers right now, listeners, that concept is what has propelled Edmond forward. It's propelled all of us forward. When you can believe in yourself to that level, that to me is what brings your dream to you, more so than just you knocking walls down, but it allows you to reach it at your greatest potential, we'll say. So I just want to emphasize that point, Evan, but I love your story, man. Just the journeyman aspect and, bouncing around different teams and everything. But now that you're speaking, that probably is so in your back pocket, because there's so many experiences from every team, from all these different people you got to meet, from different audiences you got to see, for that matter, from different coaches, trainers, everything. It's kind of a blessing to be a journeyman in that concept now.
Yeah, it is. The experiences, the interactions, the connections that you meet with everyone. I always because of football, I always had a dream of getting off the islands where I was raised, and wanted to explore life. And being that I was able to participate and play on multiple teams, I was able to do just that, live in different parts of the country, just in the north, west, the southeast, the south. I was able to, have an opportunity to experience different climates, because, like in South Carolina, 85% of the year is hot, even Christmas is hot in the South Carolina. But I had the opportunity to, experience snow for a full winter. And that was amazing. That was like a childhood dream, just to see snow, for not the very first time, but as long as I did. And, to actually get a chance to play in snow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And I actually appreciate being a journeyman, man. I appreciate those interactions. I appreciate all the different coaches I've had. I was always a solid, good player, so I know if I ever needed anything, I could reach out to multiple coaches and stuff, because I did it the right way. So it's a blessing.
That's awesome. Oh, I love that. Now, bouncing around these different teams, being the journeyman and whatnot, is there any specific team that sticks out to you, not necessarily that you liked more than others, but that you learned the most with, for that matter?
If someone was to ask me, I'd be remiss not to say the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings, first, because they're the first team to give a kid from Watermelon, Newberry College, that no one's ever heard of, a chance, and not only give me a chance, but they gave me the opportunity, me and my family, to see my name, get called, on draft day, which doesn't happen, to Division II players. Most of the time it doesn't happen. So just to even hear my name and see it across the screen, that was more than enough right there, because I made my family, my parents, my dad, we have the same name, made him proud, But that team right there taught me how to be a pro, and I went through the highs and lows and valleys of a pro player with the Vikings. That kind of helped me, propel me to deal with adversity, the further along I went in my career. But I learned a lot from them. Probably one of the hardest working teams I've ever been a part of. That 3 year span I was there. My head coach was Mike Zimmer, who's a tough
Okay.
coach. And anybody that knows him knows he's a tough coach. And his son Adam Zimmer was my position coach, who was a great coach. Really smart guy. But they expected a lot from guys, no matter if you came from Clemson, UCLA, or little old Newberry. They expected a lot, and they put it on your plate. So they taught me how to be a pro. They taught me how to work even harder, to stay here. So I appreciate that team. But if
Yeah.
someone's asking the funnest team that I've ever been on, or the best culture that I've ever been on, I have to say the Seattle Seahawks out there with Pete
Okay.
Carroll. It's something different about that place. The way that they do things out there is completely different. I've never seen it done before. I've never seen a team like wrap around, like guys like that. I've never seen a coach give unproven guys, or guys that don't have a lot of buzz, an opportunity to play, and that coaching staff, that experience being out there in Seattle, Washington was outstanding. And one of the funnest places I've ever played. And I was there, maybe 10 weeks, got picked up, during the year. But that left a lasting impression on me on how different, different teams and cultures are. And I always tell any player that I ever get encounter with or talk to that if you ever have an opportunity to go play for Seattle, as long as, Pete Carroll is there, I think you want to go there because you'll love it. I guarantee you'll love being out there.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And just to think on that for listeners right now, to see where Edmond's been across the country, as you were mentioning, like lived in different climates, that brings a certain level of adversity too. You mentioned Minnesota helped you with the adversity of trying to shift to the NFL and just the big name lifestyle for that matter, to go from where you were. You mentioned the D2 school, which is very tough for a D2 athlete to try and get drafted for any league, not just football for that matter. But that adversity for you stepping into new waters and then trying to find your way in that sense, to then across these teams, Seattle and the coaching staff helping you. That concept of adversity, Edmond, talk about that, because I know you bring that to audiences with your messages and whatnot. You've faced a lot of adversity in your life, and you're saying that now. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about adversity and what you bring to audiences in that sense, because your experiences prove that you've overcome so much.
I think adversity is going to hit all of us at some point in time. And my mom's a preacher. So I'm a preacher's kid.
Okay,
And
nice.
I felt like she equipped me at a young age because she was equipped at a young age. And a pastor told her that it's good to go through adversity at a young age because it propels you in life, and when things hit you at later days, it won't knock you for a loop or anything like that. And I dealt with a lot of adversity, starting off as soon as I got to college. That a lot of people don't know. I graduated high school in 2010 in that spring, and then in that fall I enrolled at Newberry College. Within the first 3 weeks enrolled at college, I already snapped my ankle in half, as soon as I got to college. Now, any 18-year-old kid, that is not what you want. That is not what you're expected to go through. You're expected to come to camp and compete for an opportunity and compete for a job, And as soon as I got there, within like the first 2 weeks of practicing, I'm on the phone calling my parents, telling them that I think I have to have surgery because I've snapped my ankle in half in a couple places, So as an 18-year-old, I went through adversity really early, and then that's when I understood, like, you have to find a way to make it through. You still have to be you're a student athlete first, so you still have to be studious in your study. So that was a lot of things that I dealt with at an early age, just going through that. And that's not the first nor the last time I've been hurt, and I went through a lot more injuries that kind of, shape up my life. But I like to call myself an adversity enthusiast because I just think that the power of your mind and the power of your tongue and the power of your thoughts is really strong, And for me, because I held on to my dreams as a kid, and I like to tell kids, adults, mature consumers, which are really older folks, I like to tell them, like, you need to hold on to your dreams and keep them protected. So for me, while I was keeping my dreams protected, I was going through things, I was going through adversity, but I knew for sure that for me to get where I wanted to go to, and the promise that I made to myself as a 8, 9 year old, that I have to go through this, and that this right here is nothing bigger than the next thing that's going to come, and I'll be more equipped when it comes the next time. So I like to talk about adversity because
Yeah.
it's not because it's a hot topic, because it's something that's real dear to me, because I know the power of persevering and pushing through things, no matter what comes. So yeah, man, that's it. That's it. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, I love it. I love that. And the background points you mentioned too, like your mom being a preacher. I love the fact that you're speaking to audiences now, because that falls in line. It's like you achieved like
Yeah.
your dad's dream in a sense to have his son play football, and then now your mom's speaking to audiences, helping them, and then you're kind of following her footsteps too. That's phenomenal. And then the adversity aspect, I love that perspective, because people have heard it on our channel before, or even a solo message I might do, or even audience for that matter, where we need to go through adversity in life. But as you mentioned, your dream, when we're kids and we choose what we want to do in life, people don't comprehend. And if there's any youth listening to this, kids, teenagers, adults for that matter, when you set the tone with your dream and you put it out there, and you say a prayer, you think on it, you focus on it, you try and create it, whatever it is, you're telling God, you're telling the universe to craft me to be able to achieve this. And so for you to go through adversity, to then make it through the adversity, to be the player and the champion that you became, to then now using all of these traits characteristics that you gained along the way to help these audiences. I can only imagine the energy that you bring to a college, to a high school, to a middle school, whatever it is, because that's what kids are struggling with the most now, is adversity, but they don't have that perspective. So you stepping in allows them to really comprehend, like, wait a second, this is
Yes.
helping me more than it's hurting me. I just got to get through
Yeah,
this, and I'm that much
that's
closer.
exactly what
It's the
it
beauty
is,
of it. It's
you
the beauty of
know,
your story, for that matter.
I didn't have a person like me to look up to, when I was coming up. And I told a friend the other day, because they ask questions, and they want to know certain things on. We all raised up together, and we all came from the same environment, and we all should have had like the same mindset, and and they just we have conversations back and forth, and I told them, I was like, I didn't have a person to look up to in that sense. So for me, because I wanted to do better and I wanted to be better, I said I painted out as a young child, and this is a true story. I painted out a picture of what I wanted to be in the future, and that's the person that I looked up to. And every day that I'm going, it amazes me that the person that I looked up to as a child was myself, and that's exactly who I wanted to be. And if you would ask me, did I, become the person that I want to be? Give and take, things didn't go as planned, up and down. But for the most part, the nutshell, I'm exactly who I wanted to be, because of my dreams, and because of self-talking myself. And when something happened, like, get up, Edmond, like, this is nothing, like, you can succeed, and that's what I did as a child. And each day I was just trying to catch that person, and that person was me, and I'm still trying to catch that person, but it feels good to to look out and to see what happened, and to see like some of the things that you accomplished, just because that you held it together, and you had a strong mind, and that you weren't going to be denied no matter what happened, and that was me. And that's the young man I am now. I still look in the camera now, I still see an 8, 9 year old boy while looking in the camera, or looking in the mirrors in the morning and stuff. I still see the young kid still chasing that guy that's out there. It feels like he's away, but he's closer than I'm closer to him than he thinks, so yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I gotta mention this, because what you just said connects to so many dots. I've got a coaching client. He's in college out in this area, and we'll say he's facing his own adversity, struggling on mental health areas, but really just trying to achieve these goals he set for himself. Much like you just stated for yourself, that I've done and all of us are trying to do, is to truly become that future version of ourselves that has achieved all this. So for listeners right now, I say this concept where to ask yourself, what did that future version of yourself achieve that you want right now? Okay, so you have that image in your mind. They're this, for me and Edmond, they're these great speakers. They're helping the world. They're helping these audiences really inspire people. And then you go a little bit down. All right, what are their characteristics and personality traits that make up who they are now? Well, they're extremely confident. They're driven. They're courageous. They go through adversity with strength. And I said to my clients, like, all right, we have to define that for you. And whether we do it in session or you do it on your own, but for people right now, do it on your own, because what that is doing is creating your roadmap to what you need to work on now to become that future version of yourself that did achieve everything. So if it's confidence, if it's courage, if it's whatever it might be, you're giving yourself your own blueprint. Like, all right, well, if my future self is really confident to step on stage and talk to people, I got to start finding the confidence in myself and really step into it. So you're helping your future self is helping your younger self become it. And that to me, it's a deeper concept for mindset, but that's the life we all live, because we're all trying to achieve something great. And for those of us that don't give up, for those of us that face the wall and we either go through it or find a way around it, we realize, oh my goodness, the strength was in me all along, but I had to go through this. I had to learn this to keep growing. And that to me, Evan, brings us to my next question for you, where you have this entire platform aspect or this idea of one man ready. And everything you just touched on to me embodies that one man ready aspect. And I'm going to have you explain it all to people, but I said it in the intro where you're essentially helping people understand and what they need to do to become who they want to be and achieve their dreams. That's just the tip of the iceberg of what one man ready is, with everything I've looked up into it and studied on it. But tell people, what is one man ready? Because it has to do with a lot of stuff you just touched on.
This one man ready was just a phrase, and it all goes back, and I would be remiss if I don't give him his props, but it always goes back to my high school strength coach. His name is Mr. Carlton Solomon, and he's a great friend of mine, and he's a mentor. And he's someone that I look up to, and I lean on from time to time. When I was younger, more, I leaned on him a lot more, but now getting older, becoming a man of my own, I still lean on him. But we used to run sprints, and we used to lift weights, and he used to always just yell out, one man ready. And, as a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, it's like, I'm not trying to listen to that. Honestly, it's just like, let's get to the next set, or let's get to the next sprint, or, and, it came to a point in time, I asked him, I was like, Coach, what does that mean? And he was like, you'll figure it out one day. He was like, just get back on the line, and that's what it was. So we just ran, we lifted. And, once I kind of left college and started going into, left high school and started going into college, he was just saying, like, Edmond, that one man ready meant, like when one person's ready, the rest of the pack's going to follow, So he was like, that's why I always, used to say one man ready. He said, someone's tired, but if you're not tired, then everybody else just has to catch up, So that's where it came to. And I was like, okay, I like that concept. But he was like, I'm actually going to give you the phrase. He said, you can have it, because he said, I can see not saying he can see the future, but he's just letting me know. He was like, I can see you taking this further than I could, and he said, it's yours, he said, it's yours. He said, you could do whatever you want to do with it. So, being the guy that I am, I said, I'll take it, and I wanted to revamp it, so it means something more to me, because that's his, and I told him, I just kept thinking along, and I just kept thinking, trying to figure out, well, what does one man ready mean to me? I understand, one person's ready, the rest are going to follow, but what if someone doesn't want to follow that one person that's ready? Like, what if somebody's not, equipped, or doesn't care about, I don't care about that, So I'm just sitting there, and I was thinking, and I was like, Edmond, in your entire life, like, you believed in yourself. It's like, you believed in yourself. When no one did, you believed in yourself. When no one wanted to follow you while you were the first person running sprints, you believed in yourself, believed that you were a leader, that you were a team captain, or that you were a young guy trying to, prove your stripes, but you were ready, that you were always ready. And that's what started coming to mind. I was like, you're one man ready, because you believed in yourself. And I was like, it doesn't need an explanation. I was like, it's really that simple. I was like, all it takes is one person to believe. And it took me back to my mom again when I asked her the question. It wasn't if she believed first. It was, she reverted it back to me. It was like, well, EJ, because I'm a junior, that's what they called me.
Yeah.
She said, well, EJ, what do you think? And it was like, I could have said, "Oh, I don't think I can make it," or I could have revert back and say, "Well, I'm asking you the question," but she left it up to me, and I answered it. And it's like, I believe in myself, and I believe I'm going to make it. So that's why I took it to, and just trying to take it from that area and just like push it forward. But that's what One Man Ready stands for. That a lot of people, I feel like they look for answers from other places. You look for answers from the internet, and you look for certain things that just pop up. But in reality, it starts with you. If you believe that you can do something, if you believe you can be, the best
Yeah.
motivational speaker out there, then what's stopping you? No one's stopping you. And the only person that can stop you is yourself. But we're going to take that out. You believe in yourself,
Right.
we're going to get the job done, And that's my mindset. I've always been positive, out looking forward to it. But that's what One Man Ready stands for. That's what it embodies. I go and try to tell everyone, not just children. I know I do camps, but I try to tell everyone that, man, whatever you believe in, man, just hold on to it and go after it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Believe in yourself, and it starts
Yeah.
with you. So,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Now, I like that idea right there because it's not just kids that
right,
need this. If a kid learns this, then it sets them up for success. It really does because they start to believe in themselves at a young age. So when you're speaking to audiences older than high school and college, it could be anyone, workshop, seminar, corporation, whatever it is, but you're speaking to adults, Edmund. When you're talking to them, how do you phrase that concept? Because I think, sadly, I think in this day and age, could just be throughout history, adults that have been through adversity, that have been through struggle, they lose a piece of themselves. They lose a piece of believing in themselves that they can keep going. They think, this is it. This is life. So that fire to try and keep building themselves and building their life toward their goals, it kind of starts to dim. So when you're speaking to an audience and you're trying to energize them and motivate them to really understand, like, hey, bring it back to yourself. How do you go about that? Like, what's your message to really get into people's heads to understand, hey,
right.
believe in yourself isn't
When
just
I'm speaking to
a
like
simple
audiences
term. There's
and
so much meaning
adults,
behind it for
I
that matter.
always ask them to go back to when they were a kid, and the promise that they made to themselves.
Good.
I have a son. My son's 7 years old, and I always ask my son at an early age, and he's 7, but I've been asking him, maybe since 4 or 5. He doesn't know, but just to get the conversation flowing in his mind, is like, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I think a lot of the times, and I've seen friends and other adults, I think a lot of adults, they lose hope and they lose whatever they were holding on to because maybe someone tell them that they couldn't do it, or they just saw in themselves that they couldn't have done it. So always like to ask adults, like, even at this very age, like, what do you want? What When someone asks you a question, or when you were in grade school, and we were writing down, and the teacher would tell you, hey, we're going to
Yep.
write essays or whatever the case may be, because I know what my essays always were, and I know it's not that easy. It's not that easy just to make it to the NFL. I'm fully aware that it takes, hard work, determination, some good luck, prayer. It takes a lot of things to get there. But the things the tools that you learn
Yeah.
trying to get there, that's what's most important to me. And I feel like a lot of adults
Yeah.
forgot all of those tools that they learned in trying to get to their dream. I'm fully aware that everyone's not going to be
Yeah.
an NBA player, a doctor, but it's the necessary steps that you take to get there. I think adults they've forgotten those steps just to get to where they wanted to go in life. So I always go back to them and just tell them, like, what did you want to do when you grow up? And some people are answer, and they'll tell you what they wanted to do. And I always ask, like, well, what happened? Or what did you lose on the way trying to get to where you wanted to go? And that's when you start hearing the fluctuation of answers. And you start hearing everything. Well, parental problems, or I had kids, or my environment that I lived in, or I wasn't afforded the opportunity to do certain things. But I feel like all of that could be changed if, and I could be biased and I could just be like as positive as I am, and that's just the way I look at things, even if it's they say you're looking at the glass half empty or full. I tell you what, if I got a drop of water inside the glass, that's all that I need to propel me forward. I don't need anything else, because that's going to get me where I need to go. So I always try to tell, like, older individuals that, just go back to what you wanted to do as a kid, or just those steps that you took to get where you are in life, and don't forget that. And I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
forget that, and it's unfortunate, but I'm here to
Yeah.
try to get them back. That's all. Yeah, I'm here to try to get them back with that.
Yeah. For sure. That's awesome. Oh no, I love everything right there, Edmund. And I have to give your mom a shout out with this concept, because
Yeah,
she'll like this piece right here. Because everything you just said is trying to get people back to childlike faith, and that's a major scripture throughout the Bible, of course. And people know, I'm a spiritual guy, faithful guy, just as much, and we talk about that on the channel
yeah,
just as much. But childlike faith is something that so many people lose along the way. That hope to see you through to the finish. That, I sit there and always talk about it, because I used to work in the therapy field with younger clients and ask them, like, hey, the $1 million question, what do you want to be when you're older? And, they answer, oh, I want to be firefighter, astronaut, football player, whatever it is. As long as they don't lose that, and life will throw hurdles at you sadly, to try and throw you off course. But if you stay true to yourself, as you said, that one drop of water is all I need to see me through to the finish. That's childlike faith, where I never lost it. And I think that, Edmund, is what allows us to keep our positivity, because we believed regardless of what happened to us. And for people that go through hurdles, it's there. It might be hitting under some rubble of whatever happened in your past, but it's there. And if you pull out that belief again, it does open doors. It does see you through to the finish. And you mentioned another
that's the
aspect,
mustard
Edmund,
seed
too,
faith.
which
Yeah,
I think your mom will
that's
love,
it.
with the drop of water. That's
That's
the
all you
mustard seed.
need. That's all you need.
A mustard seed of faith,
All you
man. It's like,
need.
if you see that's good. That's all you need to get you through to the finish,
Oh, that's
right?
amazing. I'm sounding like a preacher. I'm
That's
not a
awesome.
preacher.
I love that.
Uh,
Yeah.
no, I hope not. No,
That's
that's
what I'm
not. I don't
saying,
think that's for
right?
me. She may
Like I
love to
said,
hear
you're
that, but
you're
I don't
following
think
a lot
that's
of your
for
mom's
me.
footsteps.
Oh man.
That's hilarious. But no, I love that concept too. But to connect all that to One Man Ready, I love where it started. Where, you said your strength coach, and Solomon, his last name Solomon, I
Hmm.
forget his first name you mentioned, but to give you that, and because he believed in you. And then now you take it and you redefine it in your own way, and you're
Hmm.
helping people understand that you're the only person that needs to believe in you to get you ready. And I think in this day and age more than ever, why bringing Edmund, listeners right now, bringing Edmund into your school, to your team, to your corporation, to your business is needed. And I say that because One Man Ready, at the end of the day, this day and age is waiting for everyone else to be next to
Yes.
you, to be ready with you, to, like, yeah, we'll all do it together. And it's a great concept. But it's a whole different story,
Yeah.
and to realize that life is a matter of a journey you're walking individually, that you get to walk together.
Yeah.
Support will be there with whatever you want to do, but you got to take the steps individually to get to this goal, this dream. And that is what echoes to me with One Man Ready. So I give you so much credit, Edmund, for bringing that to the forefront, because regardless of the age of an
Absolutely.
audience,
Absolutely.
that will
I
forever be
agree with
needed
you.
in every
You know,
single
and
human being, for
it's
that matter.
okay to
Yeah.
to take those steps alone. It's okay to take those steps alone. It's okay to figure out exactly what you want to do, because at the end of the day, this is your life. This is your life. This is the promise that you made to yourself, not that someone else instilled in you or someone told you that this is what you was going to do or whatever. But when someone asks you a question at a young age, they're not asking you as a group collectively. They're asking you in particular, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Or what do you want to make out of yourself? So it could be a universal thing. It could be a universal phrase.
Right.
And I see exactly where it's going.
Yep.
Do I know how I'm going to get there? Absolutely not. But I'm okay taking the steps. I'm okay, doing it because I believe in it. And that's how
Yep.
much I got in it. That's how much I've invested in it. And that's how much I want people
Yep.
to understand that you only need yourself to believe. That's where it starts. And once you have that in your mind and wrapped up in your mind,
Yep.
you can bring others along. You can bring others along, not for just a ride, but you can bring others along and implement those
Yeah.
same things that you've learned and strategies and stuff, and help them to see the same thing that you see in yourself, and that's what I feel like my mission is. I feel like that's why I'm here on earth, not because I'm 6'3", 245, and I can run and tackle and stuff. Nah, that
Yep.
was just a small part of my life to get me where I wanted to get. But I do believe that I'm here to to preach that, to speak on to speak on it. Oh, man, I said it again, but I think that's why I'm here, just to
Yeah.
to
Saying it
let
now.
individuals know that you can do it. You can do it. Whatever it is in life, you can do it. And if you need someone to believe in yourself,
Yep.
why not a person that believes
Yep.
in himself? Why not going to go after someone that had doubts and all this type of stuff? Because we
Yep.
all have those, but we all have doubts at the same time or different times. But um,
Yep.
yeah, I
Sure.
believe in you. I believe in you and what you're doing and speaking and becoming one of the best out
Yeah.
there. I believe in that, like in my heart. I believe in that. So if I believe, I can't have more belief in your
Mhm.
dreams than you can have in yours. So that's the message. That's the message. And that's what I want everybody
Right.
to know.
True. Yeah. That's awesome. No, I love everything you just said. So powerful. Now I got to ask you too, because you've spoken at camps, you've done the NFL, the XFL aspect. Regardless of audience or that, not necessarily speaking to a group, but has there ever been someone that you've spoken to with your message? Could be your son for that matter, one on one rather than a collective group. Has there ever been someone that's really grasped everything that you said and you've seen it really start to change them, where it's like, I get it, and you start to see these connections come? Because I think you mentioned you have a 7-year-old son and everything, and then connecting that to the talk you have with your mom and the talks you have with your dad about football to see where it paved the way. Your son might not grasp it, but he's hanging on every single word. So that could be you in the NFL locker room where the guy next to you, whatever, could be struggling, and Edmond steps in and just, it could be a quick word, and it takes them through it. Because what I come to realize is that as we continue to speak to audiences, and that's powerful, we're reaching numerous members of people all at once, it all comes back to the one. If we believe in ourselves, but you can take that and believe into someone
Hmm.
else, as you just touched on, you can't have more belief in someone than they have in themselves. But your words allow them to believe in themselves on a deeper level. Have you ever had an experience where
You know
someone
what?
really took to
Good
heart
question.
everything
Great
and
question.
you've seen them start to
Great
change their life for
question.
that matter?
And I know we were saying like in a group setting, but this particular example goes back to a group setting, and it actually goes back um, to one of my camps. And it goes back to one
Cool.
of the camps that I've done. And of course, you're speaking to everyone, but it
Nice.
always feels good when uh, that someone comes to you and lets you know that you're doing the right thing. And this one particular example goes back to me doing one of the camps, and
Yeah.
I didn't know this and it was years later. And this kid is probably maybe a freshman in high school, a sophomore in high school, but they've been coming to the camps for years. And this
Okay.
one kid, their parent came to me and it was like, I know you, and I was like, okay. I was like, nice to meet you again. And it was like, no, but I know you, and I was like, okay. And it was like, yeah, we came to your camp. We've been coming, a year, and we missed last year, but we came. And he was like, my child sleeps at night with the medal that you gave at the camp, and it says one man ready, and on the back it says you are ready. From going through the camp, after back it says you are
Nice.
ready. But the mom told me that
Mm,
uh, the kid just kept telling her like, "Mom, I believe that I can do whatever I wanted to do because Edmund said I can." Now, for some people, that may be, like, oh, okay, just speaking life and all this stuff. But for me
yeah.
personally, like I said, like at the beginning, I don't care if only one person grasps onto it. If I'm speaking 150, and I've did camps where 200 plus kids in
Yep.
attendance, but for a kid to come and say that they believe in themselves now because Edmund said that you need to believe in yourself, or because Edmund said he believes, that's all I needed to hear. And it doesn't take a lot for me to get fired up because I love children. I love what I
Mm,
do, and that right there just kind of like
yep.
took it over the edge for me. It kind of took me back. Like if I was playing and I hit somebody, and I stood over you and I started yelling, like that's what I wanted to do again. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. It took me back to that. Like that's the pure joy and excitement that I got from that. Just knowing that someone thought that much of me, of
Yeah.
what we're trying to speak on. But for them to say, like, I believe in myself, that's what I wanted as a kid. I wanted to have someone always come back and say, hey, Edmond, it's
Yeah.
okay. Or, Edmond, I believe in you. Or, Edmond, you can do whatever you want to do. And I didn't have like that kind of figure, like somebody that I wanted to do. And I always told myself, I was like, if no one ever does it, I'm going to do it. That's another reason why I was like pushing and wanted to make my dreams happen, because I wanted kids
Yeah.
to see, or individuals, adults to see too. I want them to see that it was possible. And because it is possible, someone's going to come back and
Yeah.
and speak to these kids and bring life into them and let them know, like, if any of you guys are anything what I was 20 something years ago, just looking for someone, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. If you're looking for someone to help get you there, you help navigate you throughout this
Yeah.
process of life. And I'm still a young man, I'm still going through it myself. But if anybody's looking for something like that, I'm your guy. I'm your guy, and I'm here to let you know that you can do it. And just to hear those words from the mom, I can't wait to see the kid or what they turn out to. And even if they
Yeah.
don't play professional sports, college sports, but
Yeah.
just them learning that at a very young age, man,
Yep.
that's even more important to me than them making it
Right.
in pro or whatever they want to do. That's the most important thing, because they're learning life lessons at a young age, and I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Yeah, I love.
Yep. That's awesome. Oh, that's such a powerful example, testimony, whatever word you want to use for it. But I love that, and that's changing lives, and that's what you do as a speaker. So, listeners, viewers, right now, that is the bread and butter of what Edmond brings to your audiences. It's changing life, and for people that actually take hold of it and run with it, could be a kid, could be an adult, whatever, but they're taking hold of it, and that creates a ripple effect. And if you take hold of what I've been saying right now and believe in yourself and truly believing you can achieve what you want to achieve, you then create a ripple where it starts in you and then it starts to impact everyone around you. Because you heard what Evan said, you took it, you ran with it into whatever that led. But Evan, I give you so much credit, man, because that's the beauty of being a speaker, but that's the beauty of being someone that takes everything they've learned and just spreads the joy, the light, the love out of it. Because that to me is, we're speakers because we've been through it, we've gone through adversity, we've learned from it and grow from it. But it all matters is the one man ready for sure. But the one, as you said, that kid right there that holds the medal that you gave him, where he's holding on to that, he's realizing I can achieve so much. Edmund told me yes, but I'm starting to tell myself, and that's the transition effect. But I love what you bring to audiences, man. I really am, because you bring so much power, and it's what the world needs now more than ever. And I say it to you to inspire you further to keep it going, which I know you will, because you've been through it and you're going to keep going to wherever this leads. But I say this to listeners where, if you're truly looking for someone to come in and help your sons, your daughters for that matter, it could be a school, it could be whatever, bring up Edmond's name. Because just in that one concept, you're seeing the impact it has on one kid. Why not hundreds of kids? Why not thousands of kids that can inspire the next generation? And with where the world's going, we need the next generation to really kind of step up. Because so we need these insights. We need the insights. But no, I love what you're doing, Evan. It's awesome. We'll do another couple questions and we'll close this thing out. But I love the concept of the testimony aspect. And now to kind of final question to some. With all the experience you had in the NFL, with the great aspects you had with the Seahawks, with the Vikings drafting you, and you really kind of getting thrown into this world and learning from it, was there ever a veteran in the NFL that helped you as you're helping these kids kind of grow and these audiences kind of grow? Was there ever a veteran kind of stuck out a hand to you?
I appreciate him, because he didn't. I don't think he knew what he was doing at the moment, and I'll take it back, because I'm such a open book, and I don't mind people knowing, because I'm pretty sure there's people out there, young men, women, that's dealing with things and probably afraid to share it. So I'm a single father. I'm a single father, and I live in North Carolina, and my son lives in Georgia. And at the moment, I was going through some things, trying to learn how to be a father while being in the NFL, and I had my son my first year, and a lot came with that, not knowing what to do, learning on the fly, thinking I'm doing the right thing, and I probably wasn't. Trying to co-parent the best way I could. Trying to be a good person, and the struggles of being with a single being a single parent and co-parenting from afar, from Minnesota to Georgia, was a lot. It was a lot for me. Probably was a lot for the mom as well. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably was a lot. My son probably didn't even know because he was newborn, but
Hmm.
probably could have been a better situation for him. But the cards were dealt, and I played those cards the way I did. But at the time, I was going through that, and I was still trying to like be on top of everything with football. And I'm here. I'm not in college anymore. You're an NFL player, so a lot is demanded of you. So the way you show up, your body, your mind, your mental, you have to be sharp. And that's one thing about the NFL is like you're under a microscope every day, all day as long as you're employed by the NFL. It's not there's not one day where you're working a job or something that you can decide like, hey, I'm going to relax today. There's no way you can relax in the NFL at any point in time. I don't care, first, second round, or especially me, seventh round, close to undrafted guy from a small Division II school. There is no opportunity for me or leeway for me to relax at any moment. So I felt the pressure of having to be like great at all times, but that's what you thrive under. But there's a guy by the name of Chad Greenway. Chad Greenway.
Yeah.
And this particular Chad's a great Chad, probably
Okay.
should go down, in the Ring of Honor for the Vikings, and great guy, played a lot of years, but one day the coach was getting on me, and I was in the back of the class, and I was having breakdowns, and I didn't show it, but mentally I was having breakdowns, like to the point where, not saying that I wanted to quit or anything, because I worked too hard to get here to say I wanted to quit, but it was just a point like I wanted to walk out of the class, or I
Yeah.
wasn't understanding certain things, and Chad just came up to me, and he probably doesn't know, probably doesn't remember, but I'm pretty sure he does. He just kind of walked up to me and like just gave me a hug, and he was like, "I think you need this," and that's all I needed at that moment. He gave me a hug. He was like, "Edmond, I think you need this," and he was like,
Mm.
"Just relax," And this was I would love to say it was either year 2 or year 3 for me, but that's what he gave me. He was just like, here, man, you need a hug, man. He was like bros and
Okay.
all this type of stuff, but he's like, you just need a hug. And for a man of his caliber, but for a man to be semi vulnerable with a
Yep.
young kid that was really vulnerable at the time, just to come up and say, hey, man, you need a hug. I'm always forever. I'll forever tell that story to
Yep.
anyone that needs to hear something like that. Like, it's okay to be vulnerable, but it's okay. Not saying I
Yeah.
was asking for help, but it was probably all over my face. Like, Edmund needs help, and Edmund probably wasn't comfortable to talk to individual because I didn't want to show weakness, I didn't want to show weakness. Just like, all right, I'm gonna just fight and grit my way through this. But someone came up to me and let me know, like, hey, man, like you could take a sigh of relief, or you can lean on me, you can lean on me. And that's what I did for that very moment. And even if it was just like for a half a second, I leaned on him for a quick second. And yeah, I appreciate him for that. I appreciate him for that. And that was, like I said, that was years ago. That was years ago. But if he decides to watch this,
Yeah.
something I may, like tag him in it or something like that, But yeah, that's what I needed at the moment. And we've kept in contact since then.
Yeah.
We've kept in contact since then over social media here and there. If he ever watches this, Chad, you still owe me a jersey, and he knows that. He knows that he still owe me a jersey, and I'm waiting on it. I'll get it one day. Come to Minnesota and get it from you. But yeah, he gave me a hug, and that's what I needed. That's what I needed. So I appreciate him for that. He's a great teammate.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Oh, it's such a great experience. And,
Hmm.
it echoes the concept for everyone listening right now. Everyone's going through something you know nothing about. And that's why we have to we got to be good to people. And
Yes.
Edmund, for you to kind of open up right there and just show like the weight of the world was on your shoulders at that moment. And to, as much as we talk about one man ready, and you're carrying this, you wouldn't have given up, as you said, but to know that the support is there. That's the extra belief that we mentioned earlier, where people are going to start to believe in you. People are going to be there for you. People are going to support you. And that's what you need. One man ready gets you there, and then
Yeah.
realizing I'm not
Yeah.
alone is the next
Yeah.
chapter.
I love that.
And that's what Chad did for you, man. That's phenomenal. I love that. You know? right? That's the beauty of everything you're doing, man, because you're bringing that to all audiences now, realizing Edmond's there for them,
Can't
and
wait.
as once
Can't
they
wait.
start the journey, others are gonna
Yeah,
follow.
it's
It's
happening.
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's happening now. It's happening now. That's awesome, right? But I love that, man. I appreciate you explaining that story to us.
Yeah,
Final
I
questions,
think I
man.
said
Tell
it
tell people. Is
already,
there a
but
lasting message you want to leave with them before we close
it
this whole
means
thing out?
that much to me. It means that much to me, and I like to tell anyone because you're never too old or too young to learn. You never, and especially older individuals, you're never too old to start over. But I like to tell everyone, man, and it's still a universal message.
Mm,
It's my message, and it's whatever that dream is, whatever you
yep.
want to do, hold on to it and protect it. And I don't at whatever cost it is because we are what we say, we are what
Mm,
we do, and those are your receipts. But whatever that dream is, just protect it by all means, protect it. And once after you're protecting it,
yeah.
then put all your energy there and go after it. It's out here for us. It's out here for you.
Yep.
I'm glad to be on
Mm,
here. I'm glad to say what I have to say. But that's my
yep.
main thing. I always want everyone to know, like, protect your dreams and keep it protected and hold on to it for dear life. And once you're holding on to it, and once you have it,
Yep.
then go pursue that. And don't
Yeah.
forget the lessons and the adversity and the trials and everything
Yep.
along the way, because it's just going to propel you and it's going to help you. The older that you get, the more mature that you
Yep.
become, the more that you grow in life, it's going to always be there, and you can reflect back on those tough times, that you had certain situations and you had to learn how to deal with it. But it comes to yourself like, well, why am I dealing with this? Because I'm pursuing something and something means that much
Mm,
to me. So that's what I like to tell people, man. Just hold on to those
yep.
dreams and protect it. And once they're protected, keep them protected. And
Yeah.
don't ever let go of them. And I think that's what happens a lot. People let go of the dreams when adversity hits. But that's just a part of the show, man. Just hold on to it. Just hold on to it.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Even more so now, I resonate even
Hmm.
more with Mo Man Ready because everything you just said is everything that sparked me to do what I do now. To the point where not giving up on your dream is all I had in my I everything felt so I'm not gonna go into my story on here, but like more so than I have in other
Hmm.
episodes, but everything fell apart in my life to the only thing left was the dream I had. I didn't have people that believed in me. I just had myself. One man ready. And it's like I'm not giving up, and that's the point of it. Keep going. But oh my goodness, I echo those words that Edmund just said for listeners and viewers right now. Do not give up on your dream. Do not give up on yourself, and start to believe in yourself. And you're going
Absolutely.
to realize everything that you can achieve is so much closer
Absolutely.
to attainable than you ever realized.
You know
Because it's
what?
crafting you
I
into the
gotta put
person you
I
need to
gotta put a
be
one man
to
ready
attain it.
shirt on
And
you
you're
because
supposed
you're
to be going through it. It's
I,
phenomenal,
I'll,
Edmund.
I'm gonna get I'll get it to you. I promise. I'll get it to you. You let me know your
I'll
size.
wear. I would have
Let
worked
me know
it.
your size and stuff. I'm gonna get it to you.
There we
And
go.
yeah, this
Oh,
was
I'll wear
great,
that
man. This is
proud,
great.
man. That's
You're
awesome.
great, and I appreciate you having me on here. But yeah, this is great.
I appreciate it. No, man, I'm glad I had you on. Your story's incredible. What you're doing for audience is incredible. And if this can get you in front of people, decision makers listening right now, I didn't have Edmund on just because he's got a great story. I had him on because he brings such an impact to people. Whether it's kids and football players or audiences of all ages, whatever it is, I want more and more listeners and viewers to understand Edmund brings the entire show and he's helping people at the core. And if we help people at the core, we're not just changing them in a one instance, we're changing them for the rest of their life. And that's what Edmund brings to the table. So, Edmund, I appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah,
Tell
so
people, where can
I
they
would
find
love
you?
for you
What's your
guys to
website?
go on
What's
the
your
website
Instagram?
just to check
Wherever
both of
they can
them
get
out. And I
connected
have
to you.
two separate ones, and one's for One Man Ready. I'm promoting the shirt.
Mhm.
One's for One Man Ready, where you can see like exactly,
Yeah.
and you'll get a little more in depth. You can read what's on there. You can see about the camps. You can see about the speaking. You can see about the scholarship fund. You can see about the community aspects and community things that we do. But that one is onemanready.com. I would love for you to go on there just to, it's a nice glimpse, but you'll see some things on there. You even may see
Mm.
me speaking on there on a couple videos or something like that. But just to get the message out there. But then if you want to check out what Edmond
There you
does
go.
on the regular as well, there's another website called Robinson Jr. And that's just like a synopsis of me, you know, about my background and my family and where I came from and what I do, you know, for the community and what interests me and all this type of stuff. So both of those are amazing. That'll give you a great start on who Edmond is and what One Man Ready stands for. And actually, both of those I have their own Instagrams as well, you know. And I know we're in the times of social media, and I kind of raised up on the social media, even though I'm not the biggest social media enthusiast, you know. But you can go on you can go on Instagram and One Man Ready. That's my Instagram, and that way you'll see a lot of smaller videos of the camps and the coaches that I have out there and the passion that we bring. And you also can be on there and you can connect with us on any one of those platforms. You can get your shirt on there as well, hoodies or whatever, but you don't have to worry about that, Billy, because I'm sending yours free on the house. You know, you don't have to worry about that, you know, but you can get on there. And then if you
I
want to
love
see
it.
my personal Instagram, which is still really positive and a lot of inspiration stuff on there. And that's AAP_30.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people be wondering and been asking me, what does AAP stand for? It's always been my Instagram tag since I started. But I'll tell you guys what it means. It stands for all around person. You know, and I've always been an all around person. I've always tried to be a good guy. Always try to, you know, just do the right thing, you know. And I know it's hard. And it's hard trying to do that in today's society, but that's what I strive to do. I always try to do the right thing. I always try to be that person someone can lean on. So that's what AAP stands for. You guys just got like a little, you know, I don't even know what to call it. You know, like that's a gym. You know, you get. Yeah, that's what it means. That's what it means. It means all around person, you know, and I
Behind
try
the
to be
scenes.
that. So you can see me there on both of those platforms as well as go on the websites.
Awesome.
And I think you guys you'll like that. And anyone that's trying to contact, there's tabs on there that say contact us, or how do you get Edmond to your school or to your event, or how do you get One Man Ready, you know, to your school, you know, and how do we get an opportunity to show you guys what we bring and what we've built over the years, you know. And it's we've been doing it a few years now, you know. I think like 7 years now, and it's just growing, you know. And I can't wait to see where it goes. I can't wait to see who gets on board, and I can't wait to see if you're ready after you're done with me. So, yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Guys, I'm going to put all those links in the credits of this video, but they're going to be in the YouTube description below this video too, so you can go right there and click right on it. You're going to find everything Edmond just brought to you. Go to his websites, guys. Check everything out. But Edmond, I thank you so much for being here, brother. It's been such a great conversation. I hope that people take this information and run with it for themselves, or if they want to bring you in. As we said, the opportunity is right there. It's waiting on the table. We just got to grab it. But Edmond, I thank you again, man. It's been a blast talking with you again, to know you more, get to know your story, and I hope people take it and run with it, man, because you bring even just the facts you were spitting with your Instagram handle and everything.
I hope
it's just
someone,
walking
you know,
motivation. This is awesome.
Heed to the words and you know, understand what it is, and even if we don't connect, you know, anything like that, just know there's always someone in your corner, and I feel like I'm that person, you know. And if you ever down or ever feel like you need someone to pick you up or something like that, even when I'm going through you know, challenges and stuff like that, I use myself to pick myself up, you know. And I know that's tough for some individuals, but I'm just that strong-willed and that strong-minded that I can see my way throughout anything, whatever obstacle that comes. I can see my way throughout it, and I can help you achieve the same thing. You know, I can help you do that too.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love it, Edmond. I thank you for being here, brother. Guys, go check out all of his links. Go check out his websites, his Instagram handles, and see what he's all about. And as he said, he's in your corner. He's ready. He's waiting whenever you need him to. That's the beauty of all this. But again, brother, thank you so much for being here. Guys, we're going to close this out right now. Like this message on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button below. And share this message to someone who you feel needs to hear it. If there is any message that Edmond or myself said and someone popped into your mind, that is a clear-cut sign that they need to hear this message for themselves. Share it to them. Not to share us, but to help someone else. Because that's why we do these videos, to help anyone we can. And subscribe to once a week if you have not already. And guys, if you're in need of a coach, speaker just as much as we said Edmond, go to BillyGLifeCoaching.com. I'm going to be right there for you. In your corner just as much as Edmond is, guys. But Edmond, I thank you, brother. It's been a blast talking to you. I'm looking forward. I'm going to have you on here again at some point, man. Definitely doing something.
One of your shirts, and I'll wear your shirt, So
100%, right?
Like that sounds even better to me. I'll take that.
Here we go. I'll do that. I'm down for that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
But I thank you, brother. Guys, enjoy the video. Go check out our other ones. But again, Edmond, thanks, brother. Awesome. See you guys.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on, John to the Hancock, and I'm always key, I'm ready to unlock.